Alrighty, what's up everybody? Peter Gilmore here for video number 2 of D-Day. This time, once again, here on the Peter Gilmore YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Gilmore. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and subscribe to my other channels as well down below in the description box. And friend me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. That's all you gotta do. That's all I gotta say about that. Alright, let me just get my computer set up here. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is video number 2 of the day. I got a couple more videos coming up later. My AEW predictions for Revolution and my SmackDown review coming up later tonight. So get that out of the way. Got a lot of stuff going on. SmackDown coming up in about a couple hours. That's what I'm gonna get all the stuff out, or most of the stuff out before SmackDown goes on the air. And that's that. Alright. In the description box is my AEW Dynamite review. So check it out. Video, or after this video, or whenever you feel like it. But watch it. Got a lot to say. And Dynamite fucking blew NXT out of the water this week, as it has been doing for the last 2 months of this year. I mean, been on a roll lately. Best show on TV on the one. Basically, it is the best show on TV right now. Fuck Raw. Fuck SmackDown. NXT is good, but not great. It's destroyed in the ratings. A lot of people are like, who cares about the ratings? It's all about the entertainment. Not about the entertainment. It's about the matches and the way they that the companies present the matches. AEW does it a little bit better. NXT is good, but I love NXT, but of course of that one guy named Adam Cole, baby. But even Adam Cole can't save NXT right now. He's basically one of the faces of NXT. Or the face of NXT. He's the champion for like a long time. He's held it for a long time. But even he can't save WWE right now. Raw sucks. SmackDown sucks. Even though it's on a big time network like Fox, they're barely getting maybe 2 million views, if any. NXT can only garner 717,000 views. They're going downhill. I mean, AEW went down this week. They've gone up, they've gone down, they've gone up, they've gone down. Same thing with NXT. Up, down, up, down, up, down. My dick in your mom's ass. But it is what it is. I'm just saying AEW's just better. All these WWE marks, there's a bunch of indie guys flipping around, doopity-doo, nobody gives a fuck about the vanilla midgets. All the vanilla midgets are kicking your fucking company's ass. That's all I gotta say about that. New Japan's kicking WWE's ass right now. Even fucking Ring of Honor doing better than freaking WWE. TNA too. Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling's doing better than WWE right now. They have really, the shows are not that great. They've been mediocre, but, Tessa Blanchard's still the champion. But I digress. She's basically holding the company up by her massive shoulders, and you got Jordynne Grace as the freaking women's champion, and Ace Austin as the X Division champion, and the North as tag team champions. They're slowly chugging along, chugging along that slow train ride down wherever it's going. Or going down the toilet, but going there. Ring of Honor has been pretty good, even though they have a 53-year-old guy as a champion. It's gonna change at Supercard of Honor. Hopefully. I really don't. I like PCO because he's a freaking beast. But him as champion, I'd rather have I'd rather have Marty as the champion. He should be champion. He's the fucking booker. Why don't you just book yourself as champion? It's been done before. Jeff Jarrett. Hogan. Ring of Honor's doing pretty good. They're gearing up for Supercard of Honor, I believe 14 or 15. I don't know what number it's up to. 13 or 14. WrestleMania weekend. Well, the Forgotten Company, everybody's saying Ring of Honor is gone. Nobody cares about it no more. It's still there. Kerry's still there. Even Bobby Cruz is still there. And I gotta get my ticket for Battlestar coming up. Not my next paycheck. Probably the end of March paycheck. I'm gonna put my money down. Or get some general admission seats if I can. Cause I know those seats will go out really quick. So front row, I think it's like $80, $90. It's not bad. Like I think 60. There's 60, and then it's 30 for like back where you can't see anything. Maybe as long as I can see wrestling, I'll be fine. Even though it's a Thursday night, it's a good night to go out Thursday night. But hopefully, I ask for the day off. And hopefully I get that Friday off, but see what happens. And I've got WOW next week already. Got my time off for that. I got to go in the next day at 1 o'clock. I wanted later, but I was hoping I'd get in at 2. Maybe then I could stay up a little later, but stay out at the show a little later. But I got to leave right after the show. I gotta work the next day at 1. It is what it is. Yeah, but everything's better than WWE right now. Even the NWA is doing better than WWE right now. And the first day ticket sales for the Crockett Cup have been pretty good. That pay-per-view's coming up, I think, sometime in April. I think it's in April. I don't know. I gotta look that up. But anyway, enough about that bullshit. Let's get into the review for NXT. And NXT was a decent show. It wasn't great. Had some more storyline progression with Gargano and Ciampa, and with the Velveteen Dream and the Undisputed Era. With that a little bit, next week we got two cage matches, which should be freaking good, but we'll get to that in a minute. We had an event of Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair. More storyline progression with that. Ripley involved as well. So more of that, which is going to lead into a 3-way at Mania. So I don't think they're going to do anything at TakeOver. I would be surprised if they have a match at TakeOver and the winner does that, but to that later. But let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time that I wasted splattering my mouth. Ugh. So anyway, we start off with a match. Right to the action we go. Cameron Grimes versus Dominik Dijakovic. Now this came about as a WWE exclusive on the WWE Facebook fan page. Cameron Grimes got a win at a house show, and then he was talking smack about Dijakovic, and Dijakovic overheard it. And he's like, let's do this right now. And then they had to be broken up by Drake Younger, the referee. And he's like, this is not the time. So this came about, and the match was actually pretty damn good. It worked very hard. He told a good story. And we get that, and we move on. So we begin with them locking up. Dijakovic grounds and pounds for a little bit. Grimes gets to his feet, but Dijakovic mows him down. And go back and forth for a while. And Dijakovic fires up with a cyclone kick for a near fall. Follows with some strikes, a backbreaker, and a splash for a near fall. Grimes comes back with some kicks, a Hurricane Rana. Dijakovic cuts him off and dumps him to the floor. Dijakovic falls out, and Grimes then takes out his knees. Falls with an apron penalty kick, and it was good. And delivers clubbing strikes. Back in, Grimes chokes out Dijakovic. What's going to work on him? Grounds and pounds for a little bit, maintaining control. And Dijakovic starts firing up. Follows with some strikes. They go back and forth. And Dijakovic follows with some kicks and a back elbow. Here's the suplex, follows it with a super kick, and then an lariat for a near fall. Grimes comes back with a German suplex. And that gets a near fall. Dijakovic then falls with a moonsault to the floor. Starts favoring his knee. Not good. And then out of nowhere, Damian Priest attacks with a nightstick. Well, it looked like a lead pipe from me. Takes out his knee. Grimes gets in the ring. And Dijakovic barely beats the 10 count. And Cameron Grimes hits the cave-in to pick up the victory. To pick up a shocking victory over Dominik Dijakovic. So he gets the win. Match gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Pretty good match. And, the whole thing with Dijakovic going after Keith Lee, he wants one more match with Keith Lee for the North American title. And now with this happening, and your phone's ready, with this happening with Damian Priest attacking Dijakovic, you throw Damian Priest in, they can have another 3-way dance for the belt. And we'll see if Keith Lee can retain the belt. I think he will. But I'd like to see Priest with the belt, but not right now. But eventually, but not right now. So we'll see what happens with that as we go into next week. But like I said, 2.5 out of 5 stars. And see what happens with Dijakovic and Priest going into next week. And see what Keith Lee has to say about it. That's pretty much it. Alright, then we get William Regal announcing that next week a tournament will start. Not the tournament. What else is new? Another fucking tournament. A tournament will begin for the women, and the 2 finalists will compete in a number 1 contenders ladder match at TakeOver Tampa. That should be pretty good. We'll see who is in the tournament. I would expect. Well, I don't know if she's still injured, but Io Shirai, Mia Yim would be in it. Candice LeRae. I don't know, Bianca Belair will be in it, because I think she's going to still do that program with Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, so I would maybe throw her out. Chelsea Green might be in it. Tessa Bourne might be in it. Zia Lee might be in it. Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai could be in it. But if I had to pick somebody, it has to be Io Shirai, because they really need to give her the belt. She's been there for a while, and then just hasn't had a chance really to get a belt title shot. Not that I think she had one or not, but get a load of this. My mom said get a load of this. I'll talk to her later. But I'm doing a video. Leave me alone, goddammit! So we'll see what happens with this tournament for the women, and maybe Io's in it. She's not. If I had to pick anybody besides Io, I would probably put maybe Mia Yim in the finals against Chelsea Green. I don't know. I really don't know. I really can't give you a prediction, like who might win it. But if it's not Io Shirai, it's probably going to be Mia Yim winning this whole thing at Tampa Bay. But we'll see what happens. Who wins the number 1 contendership and faces Rhea Ripley probably after WrestleMania, whoever holds the belt. Charlotte Flair, could be Bianca, could be Rhea retaining the belt, but we'll see what happens with that, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we see Dominik Dijakovic help to the back, still selling the knee injury. See what happens with that, see his status for next week. Then we get Finn Balor arriving, cutting a promo, says he's not a moves guy or a stooge to the office. When the bell rings, he's the guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a good guy. I'm the guy. He thinks he's Roman Reigns all of a sudden. He builds brands like Japan, Mexico, and he was the Intercontinental, Universal, and NXT champion. He's not trying to peak for Mania season because he has already been at his peak for 20 years. Damn, 20 freaking years. I thought, what the guy looks like was 30 something, right? I think he started at what, 15, 16? And when he was junior champion in Japan? Around 18, 20, right? Somewhere around there. And he wants to know what's next. But then Imperium come out, Fabian Aichner and Marcel Barthel. They come out. Barthel says there is something Balor hasn't done, and that's becoming the NXT UK champion, which Walter has, and Walter sends his regards. Finn takes him out with a drop kick, and then hits a double stomp on Aichner. He sends Barthel into the ring steps and hits Sling Blade on Aichner. And Barthel comes back, and Imperium beats the crap out of Balor. So this is something new. This is something fresh. And it could be a good match with Finn Balor and Walter, maybe on the next TakeOver show from Dublin. That's what I think might happen. Or they could do it on NXT TV. You could have Walter come on NXT TV and defend the belt at Tampa Bay. You could do that. I don't know if they're going to, but that would be nice. So we'll see what happens with that. So getting the seeds planted for this little feud with Walter and Imperium and Finn Balor. So we'll see what happens with that. And I gave the segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. And we'll see what happens next week on the program. That's it. Alright, then we see Bianca Belair. She says she will give Charlotte the EST tonight. Not the STD, an EST. Which is probably something different. What is? So we'll see what Bianca can do tonight against, well, not tonight, well, what Bianca can do against Charlotte. We'll get that match coming up in a little bit. And then we get to our next match. Mia Yim taking on Xia Li. Two Asian chicks going at it. Two hot Asian chicks going at it, I might add. Match was okay. The ending kind of sucked. But, it is what it is. These two have met before, and Yim defeated Xia Li in Li's NXT debut. But, that was like a couple months ago, or maybe a few months ago. Xia Li backs her off with some kicks until Yim follows with a drop kick. They work into counters. Mia Yim gets a cradle for an near fall. He follows with a running boot and a cannonball. But Xia fires back. There were some kicks. Yim hits Soul Food. And then Reina Gonzalez and Dakota Kai come out to distract Mia. And that leads to Xia Li cradling up and entering with a bridge on Mia for the win. So Xia Li gets the win back a few months ago. So she picks up the victory. Match gave 2 out of 5 stars. It kind of sucks that it was so short. But we heard from Dakota Kai earlier about the cage match. He says he's gonna beat the crap out of Tegan Nox, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. And then afterwards, not Reina Gonzalez. That's another person. Raquel Gonzalez beats down Mia Yim and Xia Li, and leaves with her best friend Dakota Kai. So not only does Dakota Kai have a problem with Tegan Nox, she has a problem with Mia Yim and Xia Li. So I don't know how that's gonna play out. But Dakota Kai's got Tegan Nox in the cage next week. Maybe Mia and Xia get involved and they stop Raquel Gonzalez from entering the cage and doing damage. But we'll see what happens with that. So we'll see what happens. So I gave all that 2 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. That's what it is. Alright, then we got a promo from the Velveteen Dream. Patrick Clark cuts a promo in front of a mirror. And he's the narcissist Lex Luger. But, when Lexi, look at that, look at me, look at my biceps. When he was the narcissist, before he was the Lex Express crap. When he was going after Yokozuna. Back in SummerSlam, I believe, 94? Somewhere around there? I forget. Anyway, he talks about beating Roderick Strong last week, but that's not enough because they broke his back. Made him humble. No. They broke his back. He wants everything, and he wants Strong to experience the steel cage. So, we'll see what happens with that. And we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. And we'll see what happens next week in the cage with Velveteen Dream and Roddy. I think it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be cool. I do expect the Undisputed Era to get involved and try to help Roddy in the cage, but it might backfire. But we'll see what happens with that next week on the program. And that's it. Alright, then we get to our next match. Tommaso Ciampa taking on Austin Theory. This came about from last week when Tommaso Ciampa interrupted Austin Theory and basically beat the shit out of him. So we get to the match. Match was pretty decent. It was alright. They go at it at the beginning of the bell. Theory hits a shoulder tackle, grounds Ciampa with some strikes. Ciampa fires back with a clothesline, and then he does some ground and pound to Theory. Theory cows out, and Ciampa dumps him to the floor. Theory pulls him out, slams Ciampa to the apron. They go back in, and he follows with a dropkick for a 1 count. Ciampa comes back, stuns Theory off the ropes, and sends him into the ring post as we go to break. We come back. Theory comes back on Ciampa with some boots and a standing moonsault for a near fall. Does some ground and pound from Austin Theory. Then Ciampa fires back with a clothesline, a couple German suplexes. Hits the running knee. And Theory fires back and rolls into a knee strike for a near fall. Then they go up top. Theory counts and they trade on the mat. Theory hits a blockbuster, a buckle bomb, and another move for a near fall. Ciampa fires back. They trade back and forth. Theory follows with a super kick. He hits Ataxia, whatever that is, for a near fall. Go to the floor. Theory slams him into the barricades, and they go back in. Ciampa hits Willow's bell, and then the fairy tale ending for the win. So Ciampa gets the win. Match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. It was alright. Good match. And kind of felt like an Evolve match, because both of them had been in Evolve. And that was that. Afterwards, Johnny Gargano comes out, beating the crap out of Ciampa. Ciampa comes back, but then Austin Theory gets involved, which leads to Gargano hitting a super kick. He starts sitting on the apron next to a hurt Ciampa, and he's like, very good, and starts mocking him as he throws Ciampa to the floor and stands over him. So this continues their long feud, stemming from NXT TakeOver Portland, where Gargano turned his back on Ciampa and turned heel. So this is going to continue on all the way up to Tampa Bay. And we'll see how this feud ends, or if it keeps going. But we'll see what happens. So I gave the Aftermath 2.5 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it for that. After that, we got an Undisputed Era promo. Roddy says he agrees to the cage match next week. That's official. And then Bobby Fish says Pete Dunne has a stupid name. And Matt Riddle has a stupid face. They got lucky at TakeOver. And then Kyle O'Reilly puts himself and Bobby over. Well, Adam Cole, baby, says they'll all win the titles back and remain the most dominant faction in NXT. That remains to be seen. I don't know if they're gonna win them back. I don't think they're gonna win them back. I don't think Roddy's gonna get the North American title back anytime soon. And I don't see Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly getting the belts back for the 4th time. I really don't. But you never know. Stranger things have happened in NXT. But we'll see what happens. So a good promo from the Undisputed Era. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. As it's getting dark here. It's 6 o'clock. Alright, then we go to our next match. Killian Dane against Bronson Reed. This was a pretty good hoss match for two big brutes going at it. And beat the living bejesus out of each other. We get near the end. Reed follows with a running ass attack. Killian Dane counts into a Samoan drop. Goes for the Vader Bomb. Reed counts and into a diving DDT. Then he hits a Death Valley driver for a near fall. He goes up top looking for a big splash. Dane cuts him off. They trade up top, and Dane falls with a superplex. Then he hits a bunch of senton bombs, and he hits the Vader Bomb to finish it off. So Killian Dane gets the win. He gets back on track, and we'll see what happens with him. Match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. It was a decent match, and that's pretty much it for that, and we move on. Alright, then we get a Broserweights video package showing how they won the belts at TakeOver Portland, and the promo last week when they the celebration afterwards. Got that. We'll see what happens with the Broserweights coming up. Then we get to our next match, the Grizzled Young Veterans taking on the Forgotten Sons. We had Gunner! Match was pretty decent. It was alright. This coming about when the Grizzled Young Veterans are called the Forgotten Sons a bunch of Yanks. And it being in their way, climbing up to the top. But it's a pretty decent match. It was alright. Also with Gibson and Blake locking up. Gibson falls with a shoulder tackle. Blake counters back into a hip toss, drop kick, and then dumps straight to the floor. Cutler comes in. They double team for a while. Cutler covers for a near fall. Rousey pounds and Gibson fires back. Cutler cuts him off with a body shot. And then Drake comes in. They double team on Cutler for a little bit. And then Blake tags in. He fouls with a power slam on Drake for a near fall. Drake goes to the outside. Blake attacks, rolls him back in. And Cutler joins in as they deliver some double teams on the Grizzled Young Veterans. Then they dump Drake onto Gibson on the floor. As we go to break, we come back. Drake is back in control until Blake cuts him off. And it goes back and forth for a while. And then Cutler knocks in a Boston Crab, dumps Gibson, and Drake battles back. Cutler hits a buckle bomb, and then a Fisherman's Driver for a near fall as Gibson puts Drake's foot on the ropes. Then they take out Gunner. And then the Grizzled Young Veterans battle back. They dump Cutler to the outside. Blake battles back until they hit Ticket to Mayhem to finish it off. So the Grizzled Young Veterans pick up the win. And they've been on a roll since the Dusty Rhodes American Dream Classic. Even though they lost to the Bruiserweights. But what are you going to do? And really, what has happened to the Forgotten Sons? I thought they were going to be tag team champions by now. And they've just been lost in the shuffle. But, this match had to come about. There's not really that many tag teams in NXT right now, besides the Grizzled Young Veterans, Imperium, Cruiserweights, Red Dragon. That's basically it. Throw them in. And you throw them in together and, having the Forgotten Sons as babyfaces just sucks. We would be a heel tag team like they were when it came in. But they're just getting misused and flushed down the toilet. And the Grizzled Young Veterans are gaining momentum. And they could go right to the top. They could go for the NXT tag team belts. And I think they'll probably be the first contenders for Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne. Their first defense will probably be against the Grizzled Young Veterans. And I think the Grizzled Young Veterans will pick up the victory. Because they're on a roll right now. So we'll see what happens. The match was okay. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. We move on. Alright, then we see Tegan Nox in the back. She admits that she didn't expect Raquel Gonzalez at TakeOver. But this time, she can just be a spectator as she beats on Dakota in the cage next week. So we'll see what happens with that. I gave that 2 out of 5 stars. So it should be a brutal cage match like their street fight was. I don't know why they put him in a cage this time. I would have done maybe another match. A regular match, but with that, and that's that. Alright, then we get a video showing clips teasing of an apocalypse. Oh, that's Killer Kross, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready. Killer Kross is coming to NXT. Pretty soon. Maybe at TakeOver. He might be appearing at TakeOver. If not, after TakeOver. He's gonna come in and he's gonna beat the living shit out of everybody. Maybe they pair him with his hot-ass fuck girlfriend. What's her name? Scarlett Bordeaux. They team them up. I would do that. I would have Killer Kross come out with Scarlett Bordeaux as his manager. Even though they won't say anything like, oh, they're going out behind the scenes. But everybody knows they're going out. They're banging already, so it is what it is. So why not have Killer Kross come out with Scarlett below when he debuts? But we'll see what happens with that when it comes up. All right, then they hype up next week Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox and Roderick Strong and the Velveteen Dream in a cage. So 2 cage matches for the price of 1. Next week's NXT should be a good match. Some good matches, but we'll see what happens with that. All right, then we go outside. We see Damian Priest with a couple of hot chicks. We're gonna bang them, but who knows? He says the attack on Dominik Dijakovic wasn't personal. It was just that he was just in the way of what he wants, which is the North American title. So we'll see how this transpires in the next week, and that's it for that. And we move on from there. All right, then we get to the main event: Charlotte Flair taking on Bianca Belair. This match could have been way better in my eyes, but it still was a pretty decent match. They start off, Charlotte starts talking some smack. Then Charlotte grounds and pounds until Belair escapes. They work into some counters. Charlotte then goes back to some ground and pound. And Belair comes back with a drop kick. And the crowd was very into Bianca, cheering her on. And they're like, let's go, like, EST, and then, like, you don't go here. And I think your ship is coming. I heard a boat outside. This is what it is. Charlotte comes back with some chops on a running boot and takes Bianca down. Falls with a clothesline. Bianca comes back, but Charlotte falls with a neck breaker for a near fall. Then goes back to some ground and pound. And then dumps Belair to the floor. She celebrates on the floor. And then Bianca sends Charlotte into the ring post head first. Puts her back in. Bianca cradles her up for a near fall. Charlotte cuts her off with some chops, a neck breaker, and Dragon Sleeper, but Bianca got out of that. Slams Charlotte into the mat. Then she gets the double chicken wing slam, or the glam slam, whatever you want to call it. I'll bet fucking Phoenix. Falls it off with a near fall. She starts working on her with kicks. Charlotte comes back with some knee strikes, and then an abdominal stretch. Bianca counters into one of her own. Charlotte escapes, but Belair hits a back handspring moonsault for a near fall. Charlotte comes back, slams Belair to the turnbuckles, and heads up top. Bianca counts the moonsault, but Charlotte locks on the Boston Crab, a beautiful Boston Crab, almost like a Walls of Jericho. Bianca dropkicks her to the floor, sends her into the ring post again. They go back in, she heads up top, jumps over Charlotte, and they trade running spears. But Charlotte hits hers, and it hits natural selection right out of that, and she gets the win after that. Not a bad match. Like I said, it could have been way better. Bianca could have done way better in this match. I think she was kind of, nervous. Something. I don't know what happened with Bianca. She didn't bring her, her game, her A game. And the match was still decent. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. Let me get that. So Charlotte wins, and then afterwards, Rhea Ripley comes out. She does her whole freaking entrance, but while this is going on, Charlotte puts Bianca's ankle in a chair. She stomps on the chair, paralyzing the ankle. Rhea is like letting this all happen. I don't know why. And Charlotte escapes through the crowd. I don't know if that was a choice, or I don't know what Rhea was thinking. Why didn't you just come out, run to the ring, stop what Charlotte was going to do to Bianca's ankle, run her out, and then say Bianca, then maybe you and Bianca could have like a stare down or something. I don't understand why Bianca had to get her ankle villainized. Makes no fucking sense to me. I mean, it furthers the storyline a little bit. That's fine. Rhea should have saved Bianca in my eyes. Should have saved her from this beatdown. She had to do that crazy foot stomp entrance she does. She has one of the best freaking themes in NXT, next to Adam Cole, baby. But that's all I gotta say about that. And Ciampa's theme is great too. I just don't know why Rhea didn't go right to the ring instead of just standing there, letting Charlotte Pillmanize Bianca Belair's ankle. I don't understand that. I guess we'll find out next week what happens. What's Bianca's status for next week? I would assume she has a broken ankle, so she's probably gonna be out for a little bit, not too long. I would say about a couple, maybe a week or two, to heal up, and then she'll still be on TV. They're gonna set her up with the triple threat match at Mania. She'll be there at Mania, unless they put her in the this women's tournament, and then Bianca versus maybe Mia Yim. Bianca gets the #1 contender slot, and then she faces either Rhea Ripley or Charlotte Flair, probably on NXT TV after WrestleMania. But we'll see what happens with that. But I still think it's going to be a three-way dance at Mania. I think Bianca will get inserted in there. But we'll see what happens with this all next week on the program. And that's pretty much all I can say about that. So that's it for my NXT review. Thank you all for watching. NXT was okay. It wasn't great. So I gave it 6.5 out of 10 stars this week. A little bit down from last week. I felt a little bit boring at times. But the main event was alright. Some of the matches in between were good. And next week should be a good show with the 2 cage matches. And probably more to come with Ciampa and Gargano. We'll see what happens with Finn Balor and Imperium. Dominic Dijakovic and Damian Priest. We'll see what happens with that. And maybe more to come with Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. We'll see what happens with that. So, good show. 6.5 out of 10 stars is my rating. Let me know what you guys thought of the show in a comment or a video reply down below. And if you have any questions, put it down below in the comment section of this video. Or hit me up via Facebook or Twitter. Down below description box. So check it out. Follow me on Twitter. Be there once in a while. I don't tweet a lot. I'm on Facebook a lot, so if you're on Facebook, just type in Peter Gilmore, you'll find me somewhere. And hit me up with a direct message or a comment or just write something on my wall, whatever, questions and stuff like that. And we'll get to a Q&A when dogs fly or whatever. Soon, hopefully, but we'll see what happens with that. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I got my AEW predictions coming up in just a little bit. For now, I'm Peter Gilmore. You are my great fans. I love you all. If you're not a fan of me, I don't give a crap. Suck my dick. That's all I gotta say about that. You don't like me? Fuck off. That's all I gotta say about that. Thank you for watching. I'm Peter Gilmore signing off. Peace out. Rock on. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.